Simply Better Investing, Donna L.
Good evening, everybody. Have you ever thought about investing in stocks? You want to have a good plan for investing in stocks. So a long time ago, I was at work and this older woman said, "Oh, I belong to an investment club." I said, "Okay, you want to come to my investment club?" Sure. So I went to her club, and what we did was we would put $30 or $40 every month into a pool, and then we would make buy and sell stocks decisions, but everybody had to agree. And sometimes we didn't really agree. And we debated back and forth, but there was always one person who made a stock study, and they were responsible for that stock we would keep in our portfolio or sell. But it's more than that. Better Investing offers like online training and tools. They have software toolkit 6, and then they also have online tools that you can use. You could just put in the ticker symbol and see how well the stock is doing. So they base it on earnings, price, and revenue. And the whole point is you want your stock to go up, and you want everything to be parallel, going up like a railroad track. And if you look at it, a lot of stocks don't do that. And then you can go and query the database. They use Morningstar, and it keeps track of about 8,000 stocks that you can query on. And you prick your criteria, and it will come up with a group of stocks you can study. But the hard part is you have to know what you're buying, when to buy it, when to sell it, and not lose your money. And then there's the other part. Well, you have mutual funds too. So how do you buy a mutual fund? Well, they have criteria. You don't want the mutual fund to have more than 20% turnover. That means you don't want more than 20% of these stocks bought and sold each year. Then you want your fund manager to be in the job at least 5 years. And then you kind of want to look at what Morningstar rates these mutual funds at. But that's more old-fashioned. Now they have exchange-traded funds, which are like mutual funds, but they trade on the stock market. So that's more simplified, and Vanguard has done that a lot. But going back to basics, so I joined because I wanted to learn how to retire comfortably. I just wanted to know the basics. And I stuck with that investment club for about a year or two, and then we disbanded because we couldn't agree on what we wanted to buy and sell. and then I was a treasurer, and I didn't know I was taking over a role from a treasurer who hadn't been doing her treasurer work. So I spent months balancing the books with her. I mean, she had real good ideas what to buy and what to sell, but after a while I got kind of burnt out because I was balancing things she was supposed to do 2 years ago. I don't know how we submitted our taxes on time and everything else. Because when you join one of those clubs, you're in a partnership. So I wanted to do this just to get an idea. I mean, just have an idea of what risk tolerance you have, because when you retire at 60, you're probably going to live to 90. So if you put all your money into a money market at 60 and think it's going to grow 1 or 2% every year, how are you going to live for the next 30 years? So you got to like divide up your money and be able to kind of be risk tolerant. You want to be able to find a portfolio that's fine for you, where you can sleep at night. And then I was at work the other day, and this guy said, "Well, our pension is making more money than my 401k. I said, "Your pension? Well, I think it pays like 4 or 5% a year." So I'm wondering, where is he putting his money? I said, "Don't you put any in the NASDAQ fund?" "No, that's too risky." It's like, well, you're pretty young. You're going to live at least another 50 years. But I didn't tell him that. So there, if you look at the handout I gave you, they have guides of what you can do. They have a webinar that you can go to where they have ticker talks, talk about certain stocks they analyze every month. They have first cut, if that's up on the last page, where they have a full stock analysis. And then they do have free classes every so often at the San Francisco Public Library. And then the local chapter has classes about once or twice a year at Mills College. And then they have magazines that they send every couple of months to you. So, and then there's a conference every year, and it's not real expensive, but not really cheap. It's about $400 or $500, and then you have to pay for your airfare and hotel. So when it's nearby, I've gone to the one in Reno, in San Diego, and the one in Schaumburg. But they have it every year, and it's just a good way just to expose yourself to see what kind of risk tolerance you want to do and how you want to invest. I mean, and of course you can go to a financial planner. It's better to know something about finances before you go to the financial planner to get an idea of how much risk you want to take and to develop some sort of skills. You don't just want to jump into something without knowing anything about it. So I challenge you to think about how you want to retire and what you want to save for.